Starting from the tank, we insulated and heat traced over to here, and we just valved that off. So that was much less insulation and heat tracing we had to do to our freshwater dump out over here.
Always winterize your pipes.
On the supply side, don't mind Integra's beautiful wiring here. On the supply side, we have the heat tracing continue and insulation to our supply, which goes up into the freshwater pump. Here you see the fresh line going all the way up, and we have some more low point drains that we valved off and insulated. Here's our stock valves, but it was just too much to insulate all this. So we installed extra valves at the black and again at the gray, and let the tank heaters take care of that. This is my junction box I installed down here. So this is power in from a circuit that we were no longer using, 15 amp, and these are the outs for the heat trace. So we have a 120 switch inside that will activate power to this and disperse it to the self-regulating heat tracing. And this is the main feed coming across, hot and cold lines, which I twinned together with heat tracing, and that's where it 90s up into the coach.
Tonight's forecast, a freeze is coming.
Here in our kitchen, we have this electric baseboard we installed. It's 110 volt, controlled by that knob, which is the thermostat on and off. The factory outlet used to be there for the furnace. We just cut the trunk line and moved it backwards a little bit and put that one right into its spot. It was a perfect fit. That really helps supplement the propane use. It's a lot quieter, and that pretty much keeps the whole coach warm until about 45 degrees or so, and that's when we start supplementing with the propane. But it really helps take the edge off. A lot quieter and more efficient. So here we have the factory tank heater. Most of you guys are familiar with that. We upgraded the one on the freshwater tank, which was a little undersized and a little beat up in my opinion from the factory, so we upsized it. But that system has worked pretty good right from the factory. I gotta say, we've been pretty cold so far and no issues. In our particular coach, we have this factory electrical area that we've obviously extensively modified. We have our lithium batteries living in here, where the lead acid used to be in the stairwell coming in. So as you know, if you have lithium, you got to keep them warm. So when we're camping, this Victron unit puts out quite a bit of heat. Actually, just operating will keep the batteries plenty warm. And if we are in storage or it's crazy cold, we put this extreme heater in. It's good for boats, bilge bays, RVs. Very safe unit. Completely independently controlled. You just plug it in to 110 and let it do its thing. Self-regulating, and during the summertime we'll just unplug it, but it stays there year round, and that keeps the batteries nice and warm. That's that end of it. One of the last pieces of the puzzles here is we have this little switch right here, and that is the heat trace that you've seen earlier down below. So you see that red light? You're hot, and that means your plumbing is nice and warm, and you will not have a freeze up there. Now every coach is different, but for us, our outdoor shower is right about here on the other side of this wall. So the plumbing comes through here. And instead of worrying about insulating it, all we did was put these valves in, isolates the outdoor shower in the winter time. You're clearly not gonna be using that anyway. So nice and simple solution there. I know every coach is different, but you can take these practices and put them into any motorhome or trailer. It's just a matter of finding where your plumbing is and doing the same idea in a different location. That about covers the inside heat, the plumbing, and the batteries. Now when it started getting really cold, we're talking low teens, high single digits, the amount of cold air coming out of the stairwell was insane.
Allow me to break the ice. My name is Freeze. Learn it well, for it's the chilling sound of your doom.
So we got some insulation and laid it up on top, as well as this cab area. We just hung it down across and made a massive difference. but that was only when we started getting really cold. Otherwise, the propane and the electric heat have zero problem keeping up. Another highly recommended item is a dehumidifier. After only about 2 days in the cold, we started getting a lot of condensation on the windows, especially in the mornings. It would take a little bit of heat from the engine to defrost everything so we can start driving. We did purchase a dehumidifier that was recommended on Amazon, and to be honest, it was completely useless. So we'll be getting rid of that, and we're on the search for a new one, but definitely do some homework and try and get yourself a dehumidifier before tackling the cold weather. Just a little bit of heat trace, a little bit of insulation, a little bit of planning, and you're ready to rock and roll year round, get full use out of your camper.